And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Auzom Lobby 1. It is the fourth and final game of the day. If you've missed it, well, you've missed some cracking matches for sure. We've seen FaZe picking up games. We've seen Digital Chaos just picking up the last game. The Knights have come close, but no cigar for them tonight, despite the fact they lead the overall global scoreboard. If you hear anything in the background, that's my dog is going absolutely ham right now on a big chew. So apologies for that. I am DDMN Smith. You may hear cat and dog noises all night long, but what you'll also hear is Cammy, who's joining us.
I'm not as entertaining as a cat and dog, unfortunately, but I am here. And planes in the air. This was not as good of a plane route as last game. Perhaps marginally, but no, I think even
That's
worse.
bad for CSM, man. They're going to go Yasnaya. They got a long drop.
Yeah. This is going to... I can imagine that they land around Razak, like between school, Razak, and those little scattered houses around there to grab vehicles to drive in. That's probably the best plan for them.
Changed again? Look at Penta. So Penta went kind of messing with Knights effectively last game. This time they're going back West Coast. They're doing not quite the same as Noble. You know, Noble always just drop out like first place wherever they are. So they're kind of like switching it up. They obviously have some sort of drop system based on where the plane is, but I'm not quite sure what it is right now or what the best method is.
Yeah, like Ghost is another team that does that as well, where they go to different like corner positions, but it's all relevant on where the plane route is. But right now they're kind of dropping along through.
Ooh, that's Knights and FaZe. They both on the same vehicles.
Uh-oh, this is going to be a little bit of a
interesting We're going to see someone taking a ride. Punch him, punch him. No, not going to happen. All of FaZe drop down. Oh, Mexi.
All right, well, 3 of them, and they lose the car. That's kind of unlucky, but
the car and the bike. They lost 2 vehicles there. They're not going to be happy. But all 4 of them there, and there's 1 bike. That's it.
Wow. Great, 1 bike. This is actually a big problem for FaZe right now, because it's going to take them forever to fully group up at Milta Power.
Oh,
and that's it. They don't get shot by Cup of Magic.
Yeah, because this is where Exile drop, right? They go for this spread drop, loot, and Cup of Magic's got himself an M16 already. UDMA fires down here as well, which is where FaZe is headed. So they've got a really interesting journey to get over to Milta Power. Now, the circle has gone that direction, so Knights are delighted right now. Although they're probably not going to be as delighted because they're going to see teams rotating fairly early on. Vitality seemed to not have this problem. I think they went for the long drop instead of the vehicles, and they are already in Milta. Yeah, they're already almost there. So clearly the long drop is more favorable option. And FaZe are making some adjustments right now, because if you think of Star Ladder, like they'd go Milta and Power, their alternatively would be where the Knights are right now, which is the standard mansion drop. They'd go for that loot drop. So they're kind of in this weird situation. They know they can't go through Milta. They have to go through the hills. They've got to be careful because Knights are now ahead of them. And they're really out of position.
So the good thing for them right now, or maybe not the good thing, but a thing that makes it like not so bad, silver lining, is that there is not a single circle that the first circle people are going to go to Milta Power. That only happens when it's a Milta Power circle, talking like 3 or 4 that people start to make their way over there. But this just means that they don't have to worry about anyone interrupting them, because they are going to be continuing to loot later on. But it's at least good in this particular circle that they're still in the circle and they're not going to have to worry about anyone interrupting them. So that's at least something.
Look at TSM. Yeah, I was going to say, it's almost call me out as he goes through it. They actually ended up Rozok. They're normally a Yasnaya team. I don't know whether they've actually gone for much loot. Looks like they have. And they're going to try and rotate round. They've got to be careful because back from Zaki are just to the south of them, which is why they're probably sticking down on the coastline. You can see Dyax in the distance there, loading away, got himself his AKM set up. But he doesn't look like he's looking this way, not expecting anyone to be there, because why would he, right? TSM are normally in Yasnaya. They shouldn't be here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case, at least, which is, I'm going to say good for TSM, because they'd be running it out.
Looking at token early rotations. Look, here you go. Method. Anti-Pyro already on the move. Now, Knights would have only just get their FaZe, haven't even reached Milta Power yet. Obviously, Andy, who went into Pachinki with his team, are already on the move. They're already rotating. So Knights are really going to have to fast loot it up here, because they are in the zone, and they're in the zone where a lot of people are going to be coming to.
Yeah, that's actually a big thing. We're talking about FaZe. They should be okay with this. Knights, you're right. They really need to worry about this. And at the first sign of trouble, they basically need to have someone, like whoever's compound is being contested upon, dip out and go away. You can see they're putting a little more pressure over towards Lupovka's side. They're not even bothering taking the compound, like that little cliff top compound just north of the warehouse, southeast of Asnaya. They're not going any further to where Krema is right now. And even Voxic in that area is risky enough as it is, because trying to leave that is going to be a choke point that could cause him a lot of trouble.
Man, TSM are so slow. They didn't get any vehicles out of that. They're having to foot run it to Yasnaya. That's pretty harsh for them. 80 making his way across. Vox, you can see, is in prison right now. I don't expect 80 to go anywhere near prison, to be honest. But he's going to be going looking for compounds. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to make their way across this way as we go through the vision of 80 as he makes his way across. Right, where will they end up here? Because there's a couple of compounds, and the one north, I think, may be where they go. But at the moment, they're heading into Lipovka, and Dre's on his own there as it stands. I think they're going to go for the hillside here, go for maybe a compound, make a vehicle compound more than anything, and rather than going into the city, because they're probably expecting, they know the Knights are over here, right? They're not stupid. They know this is their normal territory, so they're not going to rush into Lipovka. They're just going to keep their eyes open. Andy himself is going for a bit of a swing around, having a look around. 8 is going to join him, so Survivor is going to take shots. Okay, Survivor's taking shots. That's just going to force him away.
So the method, the only 2 of them, so they're not going to go in on this. If they had all 4, I can imagine they'd actually be going in onto the Survivor, especially now they're taking shots from Drayden, which definitely gives them information that those players are split. Looks like they're going to be sticking just on top of that hill and wait for the second circle for choosing where the full compound is to go. But definitely good on the Knights to try and do their best to keep everyone away. They do really need to hurry up, though, because Method is just the first group coming. Could be they don't know how much longer the rest of the squad is going to take to arrive with them. They don't know who else is going to be coming up next. In fact, you see Dai and another partner already driving up close to Mansion.
Yeah, back from Zaki. I think they're going to go for that raised complex just across the side. We see Andy and 8 blasting around. They're trying to pick the prime territory. And then this is the reason they've come so early, right? They know they get the pick of the compounds. And I think the one they wanted was where Survivor is right now. Vox is kind of in a tricky spot. He's come out of prison, and now he's kind of stuck in a shack at the moment, so just going to keep them away. The rest of back from Zaki go blasting past because they've come out fairly early, going straight in towards Survivor. They're going to circle around and end up in this yellow compound house. Actually, a decent lineup from Survivor. He might get them tagged up here. They're going to get a shout straight in the side. Doesn't go for the shots into the door. I would have thought he'd lined up the door shots because they had to go through that route.
Dealing damage to the buggy, and that's going to be really good. Fawn down to 50 HP, going to heal up. I'm not a big fan of these yellows, personally. I don't think they allow you to have a lot of control, and having to leave, it's wide open territory. Especially now that your buggy is kaput. We're going to hope that they have some good compounds. But Vox, he's taking some shots in from the other side. This is quite risky for him. He's on the open vehicle himself.
Oh, Rogue just took some big hits. Vitality, so they must have gone in south side. Yeah, I guess they've come off over the East Bridge, right? And gone by Milta. I can only assume they must have gone through there. Why would they go that route? Why would they go risky through Milta? I don't understand that.
That's a bit ambitious of a path. Driving past arguably two of the historically best teams now. Jempty now coming up. Are you gonna get the car kill? Yes, you are, because why not? Get some good
that doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
yeah,
right,
it's
I can't even fathom a decision making process for that. Did they come over in a boat and take a vehicle? Jazz is in the water, right? The Vitality were not bridge camping; they were in Milta, so they must have shot them in Milta. Weird. I don't understand that at all. Like how they know that you got Vitality in Milta, phase in Milta power. It's as simple as that. And they actually took the road past both. Bizarre thinking from Rogue. I don't know. Maybe they just expected them to have rotated earlier, but historically Vitality and phase are both late rotators.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm with you. I have no clue. I'd be interested to hear actually.
We'll question Jasmine on that later on. See if he can get something out of him. Some sort of Irish decision making. Where's Stab and Chris going? They know that there's people already in these compounds. Method of pre-scouted this. They've already drove this exact route.
Just trying to find some sort of opening to figure out exactly where the shot's coming from, but this is still risky for them. Now they're going all the way over. Okay, going directly back to where his teammates were. Interesting path for them nonetheless, but they are going to be able to group up without too much danger.
This is something we saw. I think it was Katowice. We were seeing it, and we were questioning. It was Kingwin. It was Kingwin's routes. They were taking their scout would take the route and get shot, and then the rest of the team would take the exact same route and get shot. And it's like, is there any communication in any way going on where it's saying, don't go past X building because I got killed there? And yet they'd do the same route. And that's what we just saw in Method, right? Because we saw Andy Pyro taking that route much earlier on, saying, okay, avoid X building, Y building. We're in this.
Well, the yellows weren't taken when Andy drove past them.
That's true, but Knights were definitely in the other two compounds, which they drove straight past. I guess maybe at a safe distance. I don't know.
Yeah, they weren't too close to them. The yellows were what really made that one risky.
Ooh, Chronix. Chronix is going straight into Vitality again. So they are late rotating. Jazza in the boat. He's got himself a bit of Miami Vice on at last, so he's going to get out of there, try and be safe. Chronix looks like he's wisely gone wide because Exalt also go similar positions. Fuffens is in there safe. Oh, he's being brazen and taking shots onto Vazy there. So Alliance actually going for the south side of Lipovka. Interesting. I think they're going in the warehouse, isn't they? The warehouse on the edge of it.
Yeah. It's an interesting spot to be in. You have very little information you can gather from this spot. But they seem to be okay with that at least. You're able to keep your car safe, and that's the important thing. They're going to wait and make a separate decision where the second circle is. They're going to make a second decision based off of that. Pretty much the end of the game. Circle should be closing soon. And that's everyone waiting with bated breath. Except, of course, we have Vitality as well as Exalt near each other. Exalt maybe stopping to take some shots at Vitality. Vitality maybe doing the same in return. So we're going to see if they want to take a little bit of a fight. Vitality grouping up in the Wizard Tower. But basically just everyone moving in at the same time. It's the slowest part of the game.
Yeah, some pretty slow rotates as well, as a lot of teams coming into this one fairly late because they were over Georgie. Penta have actually gone a really bizarre route because they went way over to the west and they've actually gone up via Georgie Pole and way in. As you can see, it's gone very much centered on Mansion. As it stands, the boys back from Zaki are going to be very happy with that one in their yellow. FaZe now making their way up from Mill to Power, so they're going to work in. Guess they're going to go for that complex just to the left of Yempty. I think that's probably where they're going to end up. They're going to circle it and most likely go in there. It's a fairly safe compound if it's still left available. Yes, they are. They're going to plumb for that one. Okay. Standard stuff for them. Standard stuff for anyone really coming in late. Yeah. They're probably actually delighted this compound's still open. It's a good considering how late they've come in. Vitality themselves also late. The really god tier compound is wide open, and that's where Shadow and Vitality are going. So they're looking around it, probably surprised that that's open as well.
In this circle, though, I do think the Knights are the best spot, especially with the 2-2 split. I think we've seen them do this earlier. They even won a game off of it, if I recall correctly. On having 2 on top of this and 2 just to the east. Taking some shots at Zoktanam, who arrive at the building just to the left. Tree, unfortunately, blocks them out of the vision. But it still puts pressure on them and keeps them kind of contained. They can't protect their vehicles either, Zoktanam. So they may have just kind of put themselves in a little bit of a death trap.
A good cover from the tree there. I really like where the other 2 guys are. I think it's Kramer and Survivor that are up on the hillside. Dre and Survivor, sorry, up on that hillside. Really, really nice compound. You have this massive overlook position. What's in the crate then? M24, the Wookiee suit, and an 8 times, and that's going to be dropping just south of FaZe, I believe. So I don't know whether anyone's actually going to go for it or not. It's just south of Lipovka. Fuffens on his own. Rogue actually, I think they're second overall in points, aren't they?
Yes.
In the lobby today. Obviously not overall in terms of global points, but certainly in the lobby today. Don't actually know how they managed to do that. I was trying to think of like their performances throughout today. Hasn't been that.
Well, they won game 1, did
they not? They won game 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, FCE run straight into Digital Chaos right on the edge. That is unfortunate. I think Missy, the last man standing, is going to try and drive away from this one. Should get out alive. Looks like ours is going to go down. He's going to get dropped as well. So Missy will be the last man. Ours is going to get collapsed upon by Avian. He's outside the zone at the moment. He's going to continue pushing. Avian's going to just charge up over the hill. And ours, well, is in a 1v4. You don't expect them to really come out on top in these sort of battles. but he's buying time. The rest of Digital Chaos are in the blue, and they all need to get moving. So they will find him eventually, and that's going to be a simple kill for them. So Digital Chaos get themselves, what, 3 kills out of that, I think, total? FC Esports, Espo going to make the way in, and poor old Missy's on his own. Been a bad day for FC Espo.
Yeah, they're 15th right now, so going down to 1 so early is not going to bode well for basically their entire standings today. As we pointed out earlier, not too bad on the scoreboard so far, so it shouldn't hurt their progress too much, but nonetheless a disappointing day for them so far, and I'd be really surprised if a solo snake can turn it all around. We've seen it, but it's really rare.
Well, what's going on up here? One has just took down Risk Nas, so they've ran into trouble. Looks like the Noxious guys, one themselves had a horrific day. Way down at the bottom, 16th place. Penta, who started off so well, Penta, and then just kind of fell away. So they've been looking for some points. They're down in 12th at the moment, despite they have some really good global standings. So they could do with a decent performance here as Mr. and Co. Crispia move in. That's an easy shot. Larry, you're going to have to try and duck and dive. He will get just behind the Defilade, and he's safe for now. There's one. Well, right on the edge. There's a couple of teams playing the edge, and the edges really tends to be where a lot of the action happens. And as it stands, they can't push down because they're going to run into Method, right? They can't go anywhere as the circle's about to update.
Let's see where this goes, and it swings up north. A big part of the play zone is actually the field, the forest north of the mansion. So we may see a similar situation to water where people try and dive in there and try and snake it out because it's one of the easier places to do so. But right now, FaZe and Alliance both immediately on the rotate, but Fuffin's there. Able to counter, drop Sigsy. Doesn't get the full-on kill. It's enough cover for Sigsy to hide behind. Fuffin's continuing taking the shot.
And that's just frustrating. That's just pure frustrating. You're about to rotate. The rest of his team's already rotated away. And Fuffins, who's completely on his own, no reason to be there, just takes a shot. It's actually bought time for FaZe. Alliance, you can see they're trying to rotate and there's compound down. That's not a safe compound. Knights have just got 4 players in there, and they could just push down on it because they'd have seen only 1 vehicle gone in. And because of Fuffin's actions, it may cost Alliance dearly. Yeah, look at this. Knights are pushing down the hill to him. Meteor's going to get himself Kramer down as they come leaping down. Dre's going to try and push on this one around the side. He knows that Meteor's in there. Fever just around the side, peeking as well. The rest of the Knight's going to swing in. So that singular action has had such a cause and effect here. Knights, they should come out on top, but Meteor is not having any of it. And Dre is unable to find any of his shots. Just Fever's just like
that. What is going on?
Right out the back, not looking to his left. I mean, I guess you look left or right, right? You got a 50-50 guess. Meteor out on his own. He's managed to finish Dre off, so Knights have lost 2. Survivor knocks Vox in the process with a nade. This has all gone horrifically wrong. What is happening with the Knights? Meteor's took another down. Survivor's the last man standing. Meteor comes around the side. Survivor goes down. Alliance will wipe out the Knights as Sigsy and VZ come to the rescue. What in the hell just went wrong there? That was tragic.
That was probably the biggest clown fiesta, and the fact that a 4v2 went so disastrously wrong, there must have been something wrong with the comms going on in that, because I have no clue how Knights, like, that was multiple mistakes all in one, and I have no clue how it got that chaotic for them. But nonetheless, like, Alliance able to hold those 2 there.
So, Knights going down in 15th place, or 16th, I didn't catch which one it was.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy stuff. It's also meant that a lot of people have moved in. Obviously, the position they vacated in Mansion has been occupied now by Exalt. They've pushed around. Vitality getting in Mansion as well, along with LFO. Meanwhile, you can see Penta off to the north. FaZe trying to get themselves in a relatively confound position. They're kind of like going for a 2-1-1 weird split position at the moment. Haxeti's found himself this M24 in the Wookiee suit, so he's in a pretty good state. Question is, can he find some shots on that? He's got a pretty good angle on that one. It's TSM that he's going to see through the window.
Empty. Trying to line it up. A lot of big wide open windows. We got to find it through the tree cover, and is not exactly finding the shots. Long range, though, of course, especially with the Kar 98. Bullet travel time on that is not ideal. So not the easiest shots to hit on a moving target, but actually right now it's another team moving in from the north.
Pushing the Wizard Tower. I think one around here as well. One are just the other side behind us, directly behind us. So they managed to get themselves in the Wizard Tower safely, but the question is, how safe is that when there's a squad so close to you? Not too sure.
Ooh, excuse me.
Did see FaZe actually get a knock in there? I think that was TSM. Brodo, rather, sorry, of Zoot getting knocked. But everybody else kind of now took up the position. So where's the circle going to swing? FaZe have gone for the split, and it's going to go their way. It means, while Alliance are still fairly safe, Vitality have to shuffle up. So I think, actually, LFO are the ones that may get pushed by both Vitality and Exalt.
Yeah, I like this by FaZe though. They're not staying too split because they're gonna have pressure, too much pressure for them to all handle. I think they're all grouping up on Hexeti's position. But you're right about that. And LFO gatekeeping the southwest side. Vitality are moving directly north, so are able to avoid them. It's actually Noxious taking some shots at one. Perhaps trying to push in to a different compound at this point.
Yeah, one we go here. I don't know. They kind of pushed on where Method left. Yeah. A little strange there. I don't really know. Here we go. So LFO in the distance, Team 14. Vitality pushing up from them. Exalt are engaged in shots the other side. They have one player creeping up this way as well. So LFO are going to have two squads basically pushing on them. Vitality, we can see, are on the flank. I think they may just keep going past. They've got a ridge line there, I believe. Axeti's got Yoki down, so that's another M24 shot going off. Axeti's having a whale of a time with that one. Chronix out of this little shack, trying to put some damage down onto Poro back from Zaki, who were in a great spot and now have to rotate some way across really an open field. They've got either Alliance to deal with or they've got Exalt shooting them from behind. It's not a pretty position.
No, it's particularly bad for them. The blue is already moving, so they have a quick timer to try and carve some path in. If they can land their shots onto Alliance, of course that'll, you know, be
as soon as
one trick onto it. But
as soon as Fon goes further to his right, he's going to be completely exposed to Alliance. They've got no cover at all there.
Yeah, it's going to be very dire for them. I don't know exactly what they can even do, what the best plan of action is.
Why did one move into this complex? They chose to move into this complex after the circle update. So they got a weird idea. I don't know. Mister's lying prone. Did Niels just see him? Niels hopped. He had a look. I don't think he quite caught a glimpse of him, though. They found Rogue. Okay. Tell like the play zone found Jazza. So Jazza goes down. I think there's still Fuffins in there somewhere. Niels will get picked off. Mister's sneaky in and out, and off he goes. Going to run away. And look at this. Crispy is actually also down low. So if they look across the side, now Larry's going to get picked off the side. One again picked apart here. Doesn't manage to land the shot, though. Larry's going to peek back, and Crispy will go down. It's a revenge frag that comes in for one, who've still got... I think Mister off to the right-hand side is still remaining. Look at Method also on the hill behind. They are on the brow of the hill, taking shots down at one.
I liked this by Noxious, but they seem to be a little split up because only half their players stuck around, and the other half tried to go into the center. So there's Mista alone in this position. He takes some more shots though, just another down. Maybe get a second, he does! But Amikaz, it's just Larry left.
Raz's been picked off as well. So he goes down. It's Mister that manages to confirm the kill on him. And now Larry, like you say, the last man standing. And Aidsy knows exactly where he is. Chris will get the knock onto Mister, so he'll go down. Larry not really going to be able to get out of this one. Andy Pyro were doing work there. So Vitality did push up on LFO eventually. We knew they had to go that way. Looks like they lost one in the process. I don't know whether that's one of theirs that were down or whether it's one of theirs that are out. I was mentioning these guys, yeah. Vazey is going to come over the top. They really have nowhere to go, unfortunately. Vazey will get knocked, though, by Fon, and he's right on the edge of the play zone. He'll go down. Mita's going to try and push up as well. Nade in the end, that's going to be a flashbang going out. See if he can get it. He's like, oh, damn it, I've got no HEs. Molly, maybe? Let's go for a Molly. Why not? Let's see. Let's just chuck it out there. See what we got. Oh, it's perfect. The nade comes in. The Molly comes in. Fonny's burning. He's going to go down. And poor old last man standing, Dave Crazy, going to get behind the side there. So... throw what you've got. In the end, Fever does have himself a HE, and they're going to finish them off. So Alliance get themselves another bunch of kills. Remember, they already wiped the Knights out, so that's up to, what, 7 minimum now they've got.
I'm surprised they were able to get that close before Alliance pounced onto them, but Alliance able to spot them out. Easy does get dropped, but nice nade usage in a tiny little bowl is basically just asking for it. Back on top, it's going to be once again between Method now against Penta. More nades get thrown out, and Simpsons gets dropped by Andy. Out of the car, same we said for Ultra. Now it's Tom Ill and Lux having to return fire back. Lux is only just now getting into position. Tom climbing up the hill. Spots Andy, gets a full-on kill on that. Oh, X-Chris misses all the shots on that player.
Yeah, Tommel's going to try and do what he can. Lux is the only man standing for Penta now. He's off in the distance. He's just behind where Tommel is. Chris is going to light them with the shots as the cat goes wild. And Yesti and Haxetti both land shots on both Broda and Lux. So Penta get wiped out by Haxetti in the end. Sorry, Penta don't get wiped out because Tommel is the last man standing. But he's got nowhere to go. And they're kind of costing themselves a problem here because neither have got anywhere near the zone. Both have got to push away. That nade's going to find Chris, but Stab and 80 have already backed away.
Oh, Tom, he needs to move. Can he maybe get a revive onto Sims? He is going to stick it. It's a risky one, but a nice secondary nade does get the full-on kill on X-Chris. FaZe continuing to also do damage elsewhere on the server, but it's going to make it a 2v2 if Cincy can get healed up. 8C watching the angle, but turns away just in time. Does spot Tomil on the run pass, though, but Tomil just barely enough health. Gets behind the UAZ.
Remember, he's the last member of Penta. Is he going to be able to get Simsy up? He did. So he's going to back away. Exalt got took out, actually. Exalt and LFO got took out by Vitality, I believe, or kind of everyone in between. I think one member maybe of LFO is still standing. I think it's just all bladed there. Briefly, Tomil is got alive again, but Hack behind there. Lux will go down, so Haxetti finishing him off. Sims also going to go down to the play zone. So FaZe picking themselves up some kills. They're still central on this circle as well, so it's kind of gone their way. Zoot and Nam also in there, and TSM, who we haven't really mentioned today, certainly in this game. Obviously we mentioned him in the last game. They had a really big finish in third place, are creeping up, and it's Digital Chaos, the guys that finished with the chicken dinner in the last game against them, who are sneaking in on Zoot and Nam.
DC able to get up and close. Let's see if they can't push any further than that. They all just down to 2 though. I'm gonna try and chill out here and hope that the circle stays on them, but it absolutely does not. And FaZe, of course, the first ones on the move. Vitality and TSM on the move themselves. Vitality picked up a crate. This may be huge for them. But Vis right now, his eyes centered south. They don't want to push into that compound because there's no point because it's not in the direction of the circle. So they're going to go south through the forest, closer towards Mansion.
Down.
But if Vitality are watching their north, it could be an interesting guerrilla firefight. Look at the shots already coming down from Vitality.
Trying to sneak up, but it's really not working out for them. Gonna try and get the shots through here, and Vitality have really the cover. Smack is actually up close. Shiv gonna land the shots. Gets a little glimpse on Vis there. Remember, these guys traded in the last game, and it was a very tight fight between the two. Of course, it was a 4-on-4 in that time. This time it's a 3-on-4. Vitality already with the 5 kills early on. Gets a clean shot towards Break, but won't land it. It's got that Mark 14 as well, so pretty decent sniper rifle, and there you see it doing the damage. Shift gets Break down. Now Smack needs to try and come off and cover him off while this is all happening. We did see Method going down. They went out in 8th place. Not been a great day for them. They were 5th overall before this starts. And Digital Chaos already also, they pushed in on Team 11. That was, of course, Zoot and Nam. So that's going to be them going down in 7th place as Alliance lose another member to FaZe. So this is all happening across the board. It's very hard to cover every angle, but Viz and Smack, more importantly, are the last 2 standing for TSM, and they are losing out in this fight against Vitality.
Yeah, in fact, they're just leaving. They're not even trying to res their 2 teammates. They're just going to try and swing it as a duo. But looks like there's one remaining player of LFO that is caught between these 2 squads now, yeah. So he just wants to stay quiet now.
Digital Chaos are pushing in. FaZe see them, though. Look at Haxetti. Mex has been out in that shack while the rest of the team are around there. Sigsy's still the last man standing for Alliance. So while it's 6 teams, a lot of these are kind of 1 member or 2 members standing at most. Oroxes finds Break, so that's Break being finished off. TSM losing those 2 members being confirmed now. They were both knocked down. Rory's trying to crawl his way through, but TSM, right, so Smack's got one way to go. He either goes in towards Vitality or he goes left in towards Digital Chaos. They're going to go forward, in which case they're going to trip over Break if they're not careful. Blade, sorry, who's sitting here. LFO. He's going to be hearing all these shots. He knows they're coming towards him, and he's going to be hearing them getting closer and closer and closer. And he's got to realize those footsteps are almost on him. He's got no vest, so he's not in a great position in the top 6 so far.
Full smokes, TSM want to use. Blade Cito stay dead still and
What?
quiet.
They just run past him.
Yeah, just through the smoke. Eyes on the prize, lying down, and Bladesito gonna pounce. Does get a drop. Is Smack gonna be able to trade and res his teammate, or is Vis? Well, Vis is just down because Shiv
Smack's
is
there
gonna
as
be
well.
able
He
to
has no
steal
idea.
that.
He has no idea where he just got shot from. It's just the other side of that smoke. Blade's going to creep around. He might finish TSM right here. He's got to get up. He's got to move because that circle's going to just push him that little bit further. He has no idea. They're practically breathing the same air right there. He will go down in the end, I think. And that's going to be TSM going out in 5th place overall. FaZe continuing to land shots. I think I just saw Vitality losing 1. Yes, they have. So they've managed to tell a lie. I think they've still got the 3 alive. So LFO, TSM, Vitality, FaZe, and Digital Chaos. Sorry, TSM down in 5th.
FaZe with all 4. You definitely don't like to see this if you're playing the server, but
Look
do
how
they know
close
that
Shiv's
Shiv
got.
is so close? Yeah, that's a huge thing. Excited though, dropping 60. That takes out down to 4. The Shadow does get taken out as well.
Wow. Okay, so they just knocked Sigsy out straight away. So LFO and Alliance LFO went out 3rd, Alliance in 4th. Shiv getting knocked as well. And FaZe with these scopes are just, they're standing open right now. They're bare naked checking. Look, you can see Haxeti leaping around. They're going to push. Vitality, Shiv's going to get charged down. He's going to get picked off. At the exact same time, Yempty takes down Shadow. And FaZe will take another game. So 2 chicken dinners today for them. Out of the 4, they get themselves another 11 kills as well. They're going to be topping the table. They were already top of the table as it was before this, but they're going to actually gain quite a bit of ground on the Knights, I think, from tonight's point score. So it's certainly been a good night for them. Vitality in the 2nd place with the 10 kills. LFO, would you believe it, got themselves the 3rd place finish. TSM practically tripping over them, just ran past. And the difference, 6th place finish to a 3rd place finish. Huge.
Yeah, absolutely huge. A good finish for FaZe at the end, though. You saw them throughout the entire game. They didn't take too many fights until once again closer towards the very end, but good positioning to garner control and have good rotates wherever the next circle may go. And we saw at the very end they had 4 alive and they kind of just held that entire area. It looked a little easy for them. You may want to kind of like be a little weirded out at Vitality, how they kind of fell so easily. But FaZe, they used their man advantage to their advantage and didn't even allow Vitality any sort of path to gain any control, took them out before they were able to get set up. So FaZe definitely winning today. Looking at the points, the global points, I think FaZe may be coming back, maybe taking 1st in this. Let me double check that.
They were 15 points behind global points. So there's a lot of ground to make up. Maybe. Knights didn't have a good night. They're only mid-table at best. They had a really poor
32.
game.
You get 32 points for getting 1st. And
I think the Knights are probably about 10th, 11th as well overall. I think because they didn't have a very good finish in that last game.
Yeah, and you only get like 6th or 5th for 10 and 11.
I mean, let's talk about the Knights, right? What was that about? What happened in that push on Alliance?
Oh god, I tried to block that out of my memory. That
Flashbacks from Nam. I don't know what's going on there. Like they dated themselves. So they caught each other. They lost. I think they lost Dre right at the start. So he was the first guy over the brow of the hill, and he died straight away to Mita, which is fine. So then they were down to a 3-on-2. But then, I mean, one of the Alliance guys pushed out, didn't look, and got shot in the back. So like, okay, we're down to a 1-on-3. Then they needed one of their own, so they were down to a 2-on-1, and then in come Sigsy and VZ to save the day. It was a bizarre action.
Well, it was before the NATO was actually a trade because you're right. Alliance peeked out, went out, checked the left side, but it was the right side, got that, but then immediately traded by the 2nd player of Alliance, and then that one lone player basically trying to run around and avoid the remaining 2 Knights. The self nade happens, I think.
Yeah, it was a bizarre action.
It was just really weird. I don't know. I really want to hear what the comms are like in that one because it sounds like there was just a couple of mistimings, some weird miscommunication. They went just like a little too fast for their own good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it, right? But I think they obviously realized it's like, well, only 2 have pushed down here. We want to push it. Let's take them out. And it's kind of like the call. It was the right call to make, just the wrong execution to do it. But either way, it certainly cost them dearly in terms of points. And FaZe, well, ultimately will benefit from it. So that is it. That is the finish of Auzom. But it's not over because tomorrow you're going to want to join the Stream Me tournament that's going to be kicking off tomorrow night. That's going to be at 8 p.m. as well tomorrow. So certainly want to keep your eye on that. Check out on, I think, streamme.auzom.gg, the website, so you can check out all the actions going to be happening on there. Also, I believe NA is going to be coming up later on tonight for auzom.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely not done yet. Back off of a little bit of a break that we had because of a little bit of a tiny itty bitty land circuit.
It's just a double land circuit. It's nice. It's nice to start getting these things in PUBG, right? And there's more to come. Obviously, we've already got a couple more lands on the circuit coming up in end of March, and I think there's one in April, May time. I'm not too sure when.
Yeah, there's one at the end of March. I think there's one that's still being kind of penned in, but tentative mid to end of April.
Yeah, so there's still more to come, and this is just the early year. Now we've seen the roadmap. Who knows what's going to happen next? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time. Tune in for NA later on today, and tune in for the Stream Me tournament tomorrow, same place, same time. We'll see you then. Good night.